Real Madrid, yes, Real Madrid at the weekend were very, very disappointing. We said they were going to get something out of the game against Espanyol, but unfortunately, Espanyol defeated Real Madrid by a goal to nil. Yes, who predicted that Espanyol was going to defeat Real Madrid? I certainly didn't. I took Real Madrid to draw no bets because I expected Real Madrid to actually be able to get all 3 points in that one. That didn't happen. In our game from the French League One, we said Brest will be at home to PSG, and PSG to draw no bet will be able to get all 3 points over Brest and PSG. Unlike Real Madrid, did not disappoint. They defeated Brest by 5 goals to 2. Milan Inter, we said more than one goal will be scored in that one. We didn't pick a winner in that game because, as you all know, it's the derby, and in the derby at the San Siro, anything can happen. Both Milan sides will be up for that one, and yes, they were both really, really, really in tune for that game. Both wanted the victory. Didn't happen for either side, but yes, the game ended 1-1, and our prediction did come to the fore. Arsenal Man City, we did say that was another game that was going to see more than one goals being scored. Yes, more than one goal was scored in that encounter. Arsenal alone accounted for 5 of those goals. Yes, they defeated Man City 5 goals to 1. If you had the scoreline alone, not seeing that game, and you had Arsenal Man City ended 5-1, you would think Arsenal were defeated by Man City by 5 goals to 1, because that was what the scoreline used to be. But no more. This is a different Arsenal side and also a different City side. City are not what they used to be. And right now, I think Pep Guardiola will be scratching his bald head right now, trying to think what has actually really gone wrong, because you cannot keep putting it all on Rodri's injury. Yes, Arsenal defeating Man City 5 goals to 1. Leverkusen, we did say Leverkusen won draw no bet against Hoffenheim, and Leverkusen did spectacularly well. They defeated Hoffenheim by 4 goals to 1. Yes, Xabi Alonso's side keep marching forward, putting the pressure on Bayern Munich. If Bayern Munich slip up, then Leverkusen can be able to defend their Bundesliga crown. And on that note, we say welcome. It's Sports 360, and yeah, you know the host. It's still me, Mark Osifu. Yeah, keep it locked. Stay tuned, because we're coming back with the big sporting stories. Yes, but before we go, remember to drop us a comment and do not forget to share. We're going straight to the world of basketball. Yes, in the NBA, the biggest news coming out of the NBA is the trade between the Dallas Mavericks and the LA Lakers. Yes, the Los Angeles Lakers traded Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic. Yes, Doncic is surprisingly a Laker. We all thought that Luka Doncic will end his career as a Maverick, and that is not going to happen, because Dallas overnight traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers. It was even a surprising one for Doncic himself, who never expected to be traded. Some said it's because the Mavericks are concerned about his weight, saying the man is looking very, very fat these days, and probably his fitness won't be as what it used to be. Some others allege that it's because of the NBA ratings that has plummeted, and they needed to raise viewership, bring in more people to the NBA, and the only way they could do that was bringing one of the biggest franchise players to one of the biggest franchise teams. Yes, LA Lakers, you should understand that in the NBA are one of the biggest teams. Yes, and they have taken one of the biggest superstars. That definitely would raise ratings, and a lot of people will want to stay hooked to the NBA to understand why this deal was made. But which is the reason, we keep our fingers locked and we wish both players the best. And yes, remember, February 14th is NBA All-Star Weekend. Yes, the All-Star Weekend will be from the 14th to the 16th of February. Yes, ladies, do not be angry. I know for you guys it's Valentine's Day, but it's not Valentine's Weekend for we, the lovers of basketball, because it's the All-Star Weekend. Yes, East will be taking on West. There will be slam dunk contest, 3 points contest, and loads more. Yes, we're moving over straight to the NFL. Yes, we've not been giving you NFL news, but we'll stay locked. Yes, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles will be playing in Super Bowl 59. Yes, the Super Bowl 59 will be taking place at the Caesar Syndrome in New Orleans on Sunday, February 9th. Yes, and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles will be gunning for the Super Bowl 59 title. This is a rematch of Super Bowl 57. If you remember, the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Philadelphia Eagles by 38-35. I see them defeating the Philadelphia Eagles one more time. Yes, Super Bowl 59. Stay tuned for that one. And even on the halftime show, we're going to see Kendrick Lamar performing at the halftime of the Super Bowl. And you know, the halftime performance of the Super Bowl is one of the big expectations when the Super Bowl is held. So yes, Super Bowl 59 will be taking place at New Orleans. Most people wanted to see Lil Wayne, who hails from New Orleans, headline the Super Bowl halftime show, but that's not going to happen, and that has been causing controversies in the music world. But let's stick to sports, and moving over from the NFL, we're going straight to football. And in football, we're kicking it off with the UEFA Champions League. Yes, we saw Champions League playoff draws drawn last week. And we're going to see Brest taking on PSG in an all-League One tie. Club Brugge from Belgium will be taking on Serie A's Atlanta. The EPL's Man City will be taking on Spanish La Liga's Real Madrid. The Serie A Juventus side will be taking on the Eredivisie side PSV Eindhoven. And in the French League 1, we're going to see Monaco take on Portuguese side Benfica. Portuguese side Sporting CP will be taking on the Bundesliga side Borussia Dortmund. Scottish Celtic will be taking on the German Bayern Munich. Feyenoord from the Netherlands will be taking on Serie A's AC Milan. Let's go through that once again. Brest will be taking on PSG. Club Brugge will be up against Atlanta. Man City, Real Madrid. Juve taking on PSV Eindhoven. Monaco will be up against Benfica. Sporting CP will be taking on Borussia Dortmund. Celtic will be up against Bayern Munich, and Feyenoord will be up against Milan. All these games will be coming up at the midweek, and hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that one. Who qualifies from these teams? If you ask me, I think PSG will qualify over Brest. Atlanta should qualify over Club Brugge. Real Madrid, you should always remember Real Madrid own this tournament. I see them qualifying over Man City, especially right now that Man City are not in form. Juventus PSV, I believe that if Juventus can get a win at home over PSV, Juventus should be able to navigate this tie and qualify. Monaco will be up against Benfica. For me, that is the tie of the round. Why? Because they are both evenly matched and no one can easily predict who comes out victorious. Sporting CP Dortmund, since Ruben Amorim left Sporting CP for Manchester United, Sporting have been in very, very bad form. And I want to believe that Dortmund, yes, the resurgent Dortmund right now, should be able to get the victory over Sporting. Celtic Bayern, I don't think anyone will want to bet their house on Celtic qualifying over Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich should be able to qualify over Glasgow Celtic. Feyenoord AC Milan, yes, Feyenoord would have been an equaling tax for AC Milan, but they just sold their number 9, their big striker, Santiago Jimenez, to AC Milan. So Jimenez will be sporting on the jerseys of AC Milan and taking on his former side, Feyenoord. I want to believe that Santiago Jimenez will be spoiled for that game and will want to get one over his former side, at least to prove to them what they are missing. Yes, Milan for me should be able to qualify. And moving over to the transfer window. Yes, the transfer window has closed in major leagues in Europe. And the big spenders, yes, the big spenders, they needed to spend big because their season is in shambles. We're talking Manchester City. Manchester City practically spent more than the other 19 teams in the EPL. City alone spent 216 million euros in this winter transfer window, whereas the other 19 clubs spent 213 million. The biggest spenders in this January transfer sees number 1, City sitting pretty with 216 million euros. Number 2 on the log is Al Nassr. Yes, remember Al Nassr is the home of Cristiano Ronaldo. Want to say happy belated birthday to Cristiano Ronaldo, who turned 40 years. Yes, the man keep aging like fine wine. Al Nassr spent 77 million on Joan Duran, who came all the way from Aston Villa in the English Premier League. Third on the log is Rennes. Rennes spent 74 million euros on transfers. Fourth is PSG. PSG spent 70 million euros. Yes, remember they brought in Cavradona. We're talking Kivisha Kvaratskhelia. Yes, the man from Napoli was bought for 70 million euros. Al Ali spent 59 million euros. Yes, not the Al Ali in Egypt, the one you always remember, but we're talking the Al Ali Saudi Arabia. Leipzig spent 55.5 million euros, and Wolverhampton Wanderers spent 50 million euros. Como, yes, Como, newly promoted Como, we are the biggest spenders in the Serie A. They spent 49.2 million euros. Brighton and Hove Albion spent 48.75 million euros. One will wonder, why is Brighton spending loads of cash? But yes, remember that Brighton are always losing players to the bigger sides, so definitely they will need to replenish their stock, and they had to spend the cash. So they spent 48.75 million euros. And number 10 on the log, we saw AC Milan spending 48.5 million. Yes, 48.5 million by the red and black side of San Siro. They had to spend because their season was definitely going downhill. These signings they made in the summer were all terrible, and they were practically shipping them all out. And at the end of the day, we saw Milan needing to spend the cash to rectify their mistake which they made in the summer. Yes, they brought in 5 new recruits. We're talking the likes of Santi Jimenez, João Felix from Chelsea. Remember João Felix? We also saw them bring in Bondo. Bondo comes from Monza. Kyle Walker, yes, Kyle Walker was brought in on loan from Manchester City, and Riccardo Solti comes from Fiorentina. They sent Calabria, yes, remember their club captain, yes, academy player Calabria was transferred to Bologna. Alvaro Morata, who came in the summer, has left them for Galatasaray. Ismail Benacer, who just came back from injury, has left to Marseille. Okafor, yes, our own Nigerian Okafor has left AC Milan for Napoli, and Zeroli has left for Monza in the deal that took Warren Bondo to AC Milan. Yes, Neymar, yes, do not forget Neymar, who only played 7 games for Al Hilal, has left Al Hilal by mutual consent to Santos. Yes, remember Santos was where it all started. He has gone back to Santos to see if he can rekindle his form. And we also say happy belated birthday to him too. He shares the same birthday with Cristiano Ronaldo, and I think any kid who was born on that same day should count themselves lucky. We're talking the 5th of February. If you were born on the 5th of February, then you must be a baller, because how lucky can you be to share a birthday with Neymar and Cristiano Ronaldo? Let's see if Neymar will be injury-free playing for Santos. Yes, this week we're kicking things off from the Bundesliga. Yes, in the German Bundesliga, Frankfurt and Wolfsburg played out a 1-1 draw. Frankfurt-Wolfsburg played out a 1-1 draw. Bayer Leverkusen defeating Hoffenheim by 3-1. Bayer Leverkusen defeating Hoffenheim by 3-1. Bayern Munich defeating Austin Kiel by 4-3. Yes, Austin Kiel put up a yeoman's job. They scored 3 against Bayern Munich, but it wasn't enough. Bayern Munich needs to show up their defense, because they cannot continue conceding goals. If they do that in the Champions League, they most likely will go out. You cannot concede 3, especially at home. And Heidenheim were defeated by Borussia Dortmund at home 2-1. Stuttgart also were defeated by Borussia Mönchengladbach by 2-1. And Union Berlin held Leipzig to a goalless draw. This weekend, we're going to see Bayern Munich take on Werder Bremen. Bayern at home, they will have one eye in looking at the Champions League, because they're taking on Celtic midweek, remember. So definitely, Bayern might not be able to get all 3 against Werder Bremen unless they do not feel the weak inside, because they need to be sure they qualify for the round of 16 in the Champions League. Bayern will be taking on Werder Bremen. Dortmund will be up against Stuttgart. Stuttgart, yes, Dortmund too are trying to qualify for the round of 16 in the Champions League, but Dortmund, for me, should be able to get at least a draw against Stuttgart. Wolfsburg will be taking on Leverkusen. Leverkusen want to keep pressure on the leaders Bayern Munich. I want to believe that Leverkusen will get a win or a draw out of that game. Borussia Mönchengladbach will be at home to Eintracht Frankfurt. I don't know what's going to come out of that game, but I see goals. Yes, I do see goals winning in that one. Leipzig will be taking on St. Pauli. Leipzig should be able to get a win or draw from that game. They're out of the Champions League, so basically they have to put everything into ensuring that they climb the league ladder. Moving over to the Spanish La Liga, where Barca defeated Alaves by a goal to nil. Betis and Atletico Bilbao played out a 2-2 draw. Valencia defeating Celta Vigo by 2 goals to 1. Espanyol, yes, the surprise of the weekend. Espanyol defeating Real Madrid by a goal to nil. Atletico Madrid, yes, Atletico Madrid keep on doing big things. They want to see if they can win this league. Yes, and Madrid does not need to slip up because Atletico is knocking on the door. Atletico defeated Mallorca by 2 goals to nil. Atletico Bilbao will be taking on Girona this weekend. Real Madrid will be up against Atletico Madrid. Who wins this tie has 1 foot on the championship. Yes, 1 hold on the championship. Sevilla will be taking on Barcelona. Barcelona will want to win this tie because they will be looking at the tie between Real Madrid and Atletico, knowing fully well that somebody is going to drop points in that encounter, and it will be a chance for them to climb up the ladder. Sociedad will be taking on Espanyol, and Valencia will be up against Leganés. In Serie A, we saw Cagliari get defeated at home by Lazio 2 goals to 1. Juve defeating Empoli by 4 goals to 1. Fiorentina defeating Genoa by 2 goals to 1. AC Milan, yes, AC Milan played out a 1-1 draw with Inter. The derby at the San Siro ended in a draw. Yes, Roma-Napoli was a big one. Napoli were lucky to get a result in that game, knowing fully well that Inter did not get all 3 points against Milan. Atlanta also played out a 1-1 draw with Torino, and Bologna defeating Como by 2 goals to nil. Yes, Como being coached by former Spanish international Cesc Fabregas. And this weekend, we're going to see Fiorentina take on Inter. Fiorentina taking on Inter, the big tie of the weekend. I want to believe that we see goals being scored in that one. Yes, at least over 1.5 goals will be scored in that one. Como will be up against Juve. I want to believe that Juve will go back to factory setting and get a draw at Como. Verona, Atlanta. I want to believe that Atlanta should be too strong for Verona, and we get something out of that one. AC Milan will be away to Empoli. AC Milan and their new guns, the Santi Jimenez of this world, the João Felixes. I want to believe that they will be too strong for Empoli and should be able to defeat Empoli. Napoli Udinese. Napoli needs to get a hold on the Scudetto, and the only way they can do that is by picking up all 3 points. Yes, they need to keep picking up 3 points, and I see them picking up 3 points against Udinese. Lazio, Monza. Yes, Monza are not the team from last season. Monza seem to be failing this season. I hope they don't get relegated. Monza will be away to Lazio, and I see Lazio getting all 3 points from that one. Venezia will be at home to Roma. Roma, yes, a resurgent Roma since Claudio already came, and I want to believe that Roma should be able to get something out of that one. Then we're moving over to France, where, yes, Toulouse and Nice played out a 1-1 draw. Reims defeating Strasbourg by a goal to nil. Strasbourg is my favorite side, one of my favorite sides in France. They were defeated by Reims 1 goal to nil. Marseille defeating Lyon by 3 goals to 2. Marseille, yes, defeating Lyon 3 goals to 2. Brest, yes, Brest were defeated at home by PSG 5 goals to 2. Monaco defeating Auxerre 4 goals to 2. Lille defeating Saint-Etienne by 4 goals to 1. And this week we're going to see PSG taking on Monaco. PSG, for me, should be able to get something from that game. Nice will be up against Lens. I would have said PSG will defeat Monaco, but then again, remember, PSG has a Champions League clash to navigate against Brest. PSG, Monaco, I believe that PSG should at least be able to get the points over Monaco. Nice will be taking on Lens. Lille will be taking on Le Havre. Lille, for me, should be too strong for Le Havre. Lyon will be at home to Reims. Strasbourg will be taking on Montpellier. I will go with win or draw for Strasbourg. Angers will be at home to Marseille. I also want to believe that Marseille should be able to get something from that game. And last but not least, we're moving straight to the English Premier League. In English Premier League, we saw Chelsea defeating West Ham by 2 goals to 1 in a controversial game. Brentford were defeated at home by Tottenham Hotspur by 2 goals to nil. Manchester United were defeated at home. Yes, Old Trafford, yes, the theatre of dreams has become more like the theatre of nightmares for Manchester United. Crystal Palace defeating them at home 2 goals to nil. Arsenal blew away Man City 5 goals to 1. Nottingham Forest demolished, annihilated, blew Brighton by 7 goals to nil. 7 goals to nil. What is happening to Brighton? No wonder they had to dip into their coffers to buy players this winter. Bournemouth lost at home to Liverpool. Yes, Bournemouth's winning streak came to an end by hopeful champions Liverpool. Liverpool defeating Bournemouth 2 goals to nil. Everton, yes, Everton. David Moyes' side keeps marching on. They defeated Leicester by 4-0, and Newcastle were defeated at home by Fulham 2-1. This weekend, we're going to see Brighton. Yes, Brighton take on Chelsea. Brighton, can they bounce back from that 7-0 thrashing against Chelsea? Leicester will be up against Arsenal. Arsenal will be boosted by that 5-1 defeat of Manchester City and will definitely take the fight to Leicester. Man City needs to pick themselves up against Newcastle. Newcastle too, remember they were defeated last weekend by Fulham at home 2-1. This will be a very, very, very explosive encounter because City needs to win this, but City also have one eye on the Champions League. They are taking on mighty Real Madrid. Liverpool will be up against Wolves. You expect Liverpool to be able to get the result against Wolves. Spurs will be taking on United. Spurs have been doing big things. As terrible as their season has gone, they have been doing big things against the top sides. I want to believe that it's against Manchester United, they will be able to get something from that game. And lastly, we're going to see Fulham taking on Nottingham Forest. Yes, that has been league fixtures for the top 5 leagues. Moving over straight to one of my favorite segments, which I believe is your favorite segment as well. We're talking about the top 5 from our Big 5. Yes, top 5 from our Big 5 for this week. We're going to see Borussia Dortmund taking on Stuttgart. I'm going with over 1 goal in that encounter. In the English Premier League, Leicester will be up against Arsenal. I see Arsenal defeating Leicester, but I'm going with the safe option of 2 draw, no bets. PSG will be up against Monaco. I would have said PSG to win, but remember PSG has a Champions League clash to go through, so definitely they would have one eye on that encounter against Brest in the Champions League. So PSG Monaco, I'm going with the safe bet, 1 draw, no bets. Empoli taking on AC Milan. AC Milan too has a Champions League clash to navigate against Feyenoord. So I will not go with a straight win. I will go with 2 draw, no bets. And Real Madrid Atletico Madrid. Yes, it's the Madrid derby. Anybody can win in that one. So I am going with the safe option of over 1 goal being scored in that one. It's been fun doing this with you. Hopefully we'll do this again next week. The name remains Mark Osifu. And do not forget to drop us a comment, press the like button, and remember to share.